everybody. I said I would come on and do an extra Facebook Live this week, all about basic self-care and getting a basic self-care checklist together. I know I'm always harping on about this subject, so I thought I'd come on and actually talk about what do I mean by the actual basics of self-care. So my name is Deborah Byrne, and I am from Deborah Byrne Psychology Services, known across social media as DBpsychology. So we all lead very busy lives. We're always running around, putting everybody else first and inevitably ourselves last. We feel off-centered, we feel off-balanced, and then, we don't know what to do. How do we rebalance ourselves? Or maybe you're somebody who has never really put yourself first. Maybe you've never even learned to look after yourself. And maybe this list will help you do that for the very first time. So what do I mean by the list? Well, I have about 13 items on the list. Some of them are absolutes, and some of them a little bit of flexibility in there. And I'll go through them. They're in no particular order at the moment when I call them out, but I will tell you whether I think it should be flexible or not. Now, the number one thing is, and not flexible, is meditation. I feel that everybody should learn some form of meditation, even if it's just a 3-minute breather. Meditation, well documented in helping us, to relax, to help us recenter ourselves if we're feeling a little bit anxious. 3 minutes in the loo, just nipping off to the loo and doing some sort of 3-minute breather will help calm down the brain, will help calm us down, reduce our anxiety, reduce our stress levels, and then we can go on with our day. And anytime we feel, once you've learned this technique, once you need it, you can use it at any time. So again, during the rest of the day could be okay. Or perhaps your day isn't going so great. Maybe you had a bad start in work that morning, and you don't really want the rest of the day to turn out any worse than it already has. So taking that few minutes, nipping off to the loo, nipping out to the car, or go somewhere a little bit private for 3 minutes and just calming down and just doing a calming breath, using something like the 7-11 technique for 3 minutes is extremely useful to do that. It allows your brain to switch out of the procrastination, the catastrophizing, and just slow down, and it allows you to hear your own thinking, hear what's going on, and you can start to question it. That does take a little bit of practice. So doing a little 3-minute formal meditation every day helps you build up to be able to do those on-the-spot meditations. So that's number one. Number two, of course, is sleep. We need our sleep. And I've talked about this. I have a blog and a vlog all about sleep and how you can help improve sleep and why it is vital. About 60%, I think, of adults in Ireland have sleep problems. So if you're one of those, I would encourage you to go see your doctor. If you think it's niggling in the back of your head, no, something isn't right, this has gone on for too long, I need to see the GP, then go and see the GP. But getting your sleep right, we do need around the 8 hours, between 7 and 9 hours, but around 8 hours sleep every night. Very difficult, particularly if you are a new parent, very difficult to get. I do understand that, but to try and get as close as possible. And if you are a new parent, I say to you, try and take a nap, particularly with a new baby, take a nap when they're taking a nap. The housework, everything else can wait or ask for help. Please do that. So sleep is on the basic list and is non-negotiable. The next one that would be non-negotiable, of course, would be your exercise and your healthy eating. So getting out even for 10 minutes every day, 10-minute walk, particularly over the winter, not just for the sake of, exercising, but during the winter we have, some people suffer from SAD, seasonal affective disorder, so getting out and getting out extra daylight at lunchtime is vital. Getting that, getting the mineral and vitamins into our skin, through our skin, is vital to our health, mental health and physical health. And of course, exercise will boost your mental health as well. Eating healthily and maybe cutting down on the alcohol and cutting out the cigarettes. That's on number 3. Number 4 would be, of course, and this is basic self-care, so we're bringing it right down to the basics, showering as needed every day, if that's what you need, every second day as you need. Changing your clothes and changing your bed linen. Sometimes when we're not feeling too great, it could be the shower that goes out the window, and not changing our clothes, maybe not keeping our clothes clean, not changing the bed, maybe. They can be things that can go out the window first and be an indicator that, okay, something's not right here. Maybe we need to be looking after ourselves a little bit better. But also on the thing with regards to clothes, dress the best you can every day. It doesn't have to be in the latest fashion. It doesn't have to be, you know, on trend. It doesn't have to be what somebody else is wearing next door. It doesn't have to be what your friends are wearing or anything like that. Just clothes that make you feel comfortable, but clothes that also help boost your self-esteem. If you can, you know, if they're clean, you look tidy, you feel comfortable in them, you will feel more confident. It will boost your self-esteem. So dressing the best you can every day is another, you know, basic self-care. And the other one then is journaling. This is a absolute basic. You have to do this every day. You can either do a journal or you can do a brain dump. It doesn't matter. You can do a bullet point journal or you can do a brain dump every night before you go to bed. I've talked about this before. Get everything out of your head, everything you have to do, your to-do list. Start with the to-do list. Dump it all out on a piece of paper into a notepad. Doesn't have to be a special diary. You don't have to do Dear Diary or anything like that. Just get everything out that you have to do out onto a diary. Get it all out of your head. This will help you improve your sleep, because if you go to sleep with a whole lot of things in your head, you may fall asleep out of exhaustion, but guess what? You'll wake up in the middle of the night because your brain is still trying to process everything. It's still trying. The doing part of the mind will still be trying to come up with a solution. But if you can say to the brain, no, look, we're putting it down here on this piece of paper. We can forget about it until tomorrow. That tells your brain it's okay to take a break. Now, of course, your brain is going to still keep going, but it will not keep working on those things. It won't work at the same level. It'll work more subconsciously on them than keeping you awake or waking you up in the middle of the night. So journaling and brain dumping. Now the next one is what I feel are very important, will be attend therapy. If you need to attend therapy, ask for help or attend a support group. Support groups, I'm thinking of Al-Anon, AA, things like that, the Grow group, anything like that is very, very important. So if you need that, that should be part of your self-care. I feel that should be part of your basic self-care, is attending therapy or a support group. And of course we have checkups. So a lot of the times when we're very busy and we're looking after everybody else and putting ourselves last, guess what? You'll put your checkups with your GP, with your dentist, you'll put them at the end and you won't make those appointments. So if you need to, and you haven't been doing it for a while, and you know you really need to be going to the dentist, or you really need to go to the GP and see them about something that's been bothering you, then please take this time, maybe take this as a reminder to make that appointment and go and put yourself first. You cannot put your health on the back burner for any longer. So that's a definite, that should be definitely on your list, on your basic list. Having healthy habits. I've talked about having healthy habits before, but healthy habits, if they stimulate all the senses, and I have 6 blogs, in fact, on stimulating different senses. So there's the 5 basic senses, and plus then there's an extra one which stimulates most, they cross over. And in those blogs, I give you a list of things that you can take up, perhaps as exercise, to use for relaxing, you know, maybe it's couple time, maybe it's, you know, something that you can actually use and incorporate into your daily life. But they're healthy habits, they're healthy habits. And I've talked about, if you want to cut out a bad habit, the first step is not to just go and cut it out. The first step is, in fact, to replace it with a healthy habit. So there are plenty of ideas on those 6 blogs that you could maybe take up. Some of them might be a hobby, a new hobby you could take up, or a new interest, or they could simply be, as I said, a way of relaxing. If you replace with positive, healthy habits, they soothe you, and therefore you're less likely to and more easily able to give up the bad habit. Smoking, maybe you want to go back on the drink, think about it. What would I like to cut back on? What would I like to get rid of? So, but first off, you need to have the healthy habits in place to replace them. Now, those I would say are definites. The next thing depends on what stage you are in your life. It depends on how much time you have, but we all need hobbies and interests. We need something for ourselves. Again, very busy lives as parents, maybe as carers, or just busy working and trying to keep a roof over your head, or try to pay the bills, or whatever it is. We all get busy, but we need a little bit of downtime, a little bit of something away from maybe even other people, or something away. Maybe we need to be meeting more people, expanding our friends that we meet. So, hobbies and interests are a great way to do that. So I always include those as a basic self-care for multiple reasons, for your mental health and your physical health. Friends and family time. Again, we're going on to making time for ourselves, but also making time for friends and family, only if they are positive. Again, I'll go back to deleting things. If you want to delete time spent with somebody who is negative, then making time for the people who are positive and supportive in your life will in fact give you less time to be able to spend with the negative people, and push them out, really push those people out of your life. If we focus on the positive people, positive family, positive friends, maybe positive, sometimes friends can be the family we adopt. So I always include that. We are social creatures. Social media has its pros, but it definitely has cons, and we need to spend time, face-to-face time, with another human being. So it is important to do that, and that's why I bring up the hobbies and the interests as well, and to take time for family and friends. And the last thing I want to talk about is parents, not just new parents, but parents at any stage. We need time for ourselves. As parents, we need time for ourselves. Studies have shown that we need about 20 minutes of me time a day. Very, very hard to get that, particularly if your children are younger. And children are involved in a lot of activities these days. But we need that. We also need couple time, because at the end of the day, the kids are going to go to university or college, or they're going to go off and they're going to live independent adult lives. That's the whole role that we play in helping to launch them. But we still need, if you are a couple, you need to invest in that relationship. If you don't invest in that relationship, at the end of the day, there'll be the two of you, but you'll be two complete strangers. You can't have that. If you want your relationship to last, you want it to go forward into the future, you really need to invest in that, couple time. So they would be my basics, what I consider the basics of self-care. And as I said, they can be used to recenter ourselves and rebalance ourselves. So if you have been feeling off-center, I always say to people, if you're feeling off-center, you're feeling off-balanced, go back to the checklist. Go back to the checklist and see, am I doing my meditation? Am I getting enough sleep? Am I eating right? Am I, has anything slid in the household chores that I would normally do for myself? My clothes are okay, my linen, the bed linens and everything, my bedroom's okay, everything's, the way I want it. We're not looking for immaculate here, we're just looking for the way you want it. Have I let my hobbies and interests go? Am I meeting up with positive people? Maybe there's too many negative people in my life. It's a way of checking where you're off center. What's happened? Am I giving too much time to work? Have I let things go in my personal life? So if you want the checklist, it's free. It's part of a bundle and I'm putting the link in the description that you can go. It's part of quite a big bundle. One on boundaries, there's one on mental health toolbox, the basic self-care checklist. There's 2 more in there, so just go and have a look at them, and just you can download them free from my resources page. But as I said, I'll put the link in the description. And the other thing I will put a link in the description to is my new book, which is all about self-care. We will cover all of these topics. In fact, I cover 33 topics in that book, and it has worksheets. So if you want to do it all by yourself, you can grab the book. It's in my shop. I'll put the link in the description, and you can start at the beginning. I start with meditation. I have links to podcasts, so you can actually teach yourself meditation at home. I have the worksheets. We then go through sleep, then we go through the very basics of self-care, and I go on and on. I go right the way through. I do self-esteem, building your self-esteem, working on boundaries for yourself and in relationships. I know they're very popular topics. I also do stress reduction course. There's a stress reduction course in there as well. So there's quite a lot in there, and the list of all 33 topics and worksheets are in the description in the shop and on the book, for the book in there. So I will leave it at that, and I will see you as usual on Saturday morning for this week's Facebook Live, which will be all about self-acceptance. And thank you all for listening.